still see comments on Facebook, you know, trolling motors shouldn't be allowed in tournaments. You know, we were up at Stillhouse and we were paddling or pedaling, and those guys in the trolling motors were just going along like it was some regular old day.
Yeah.
And we had like 2 or 3 foot rollers coming in.
Yeah, it was a heavy day, heavy wind, and it didn't even hit.
That wind was so bad that it pushed, 6 or 7 or 8 anglers all up against that one bank together.
Right. They couldn't get out, and we couldn't help them.
No. We don't want to get DQ'd.
But, well, I mean, so all in all, the overview of it is, I mean, you're really happy with it. Now, and I want to make sure that people know, and you might speak to this, that you were really, really picky about what you're getting in a kayak. And you didn't want to bring this on until you knew it was something that you did believe in. So you had to try it.
Yeah.
But once you got on it, talk about that. It was right away. You
like I said, I noticed the boat as soon as it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got it, it was everything I expected and more. Like I said, I still don't think I've figured out how to use it to its furthest most capabilities. But the boat, it allows for me to flip the seat up. It gives me all kinds of space underneath. If I'm not moving, I'm standing up. And I like to have a flat working deck when I'm standing up. I like to be able to walk all over my boat. I weigh 175 pounds. And I can walk literally all over that boat. I can fish from it backwards. If I bring minimal gear, I could even fish standing out of the very back of it.
That's interesting. It does not restrict you to point in one direction. You can move around on that deck. That's a big one. That's a really big advantage.
I don't think anybody can understand it or fully appreciates it until they experience the boat for themselves. The boat, if you want a boat that you can almost do anything you want out of, this is the boat. I mean, if you're a recreational angler, if you're a tournament angler, if you're trying to take your kids out, you can put 1 or 2 of your kids in here with
Dogs.
you. You can take your dog out with you. You could camp overnight in this boat. There's so much room in it that you could lay it out, fold that chair, lay that chair back, and literally spend all night in this boat. I mean, it allows for you to do everything. Even, once we put the center console in for the trolling motor, from the outside in, it looks like it takes up a lot of space. But from the inside out, it actually feels to me like you get more space. Mm-hmm. Because now I've got storage right there between my legs.
Right. Yeah. Talk about that, yeah.
The trolling motor is awesome. The trolling motor is awesome. No, I don't use it all the time because I like what paddling allows for me to do and where it allows for me to get to. But the trolling motor, we've gone all day, 6 to 8 hours. I've gone during that time towing 1 or 2 boats. Anytime we'd make a major move to a different part of the lake, hook everybody up, let's go.
Drag them, yeah. 2 or 3 boats.
Take off.
We've dragged 2 or 3 kayaks.
Yeah, I mean, this boat right here, in my eyes, allows for these guides to go further than they've ever been able to take their customers before. Because not only can they go further, but they can go further because they've got power to get everybody back.
You're going to get back and you know it.
You know it. These guys are taking 2 or 3 boats out probably at a time, 4, 5, 6 max. You can tow all those boats and everybody behind it in if they're having difficulties.
There'd be a time and place for it.
Where all these other guides are getting their customers to, you're going to be able to get your customers there too. I mean, you're able to cover so much more of the lake. Even just having one XL in your arsenal, look what it's done for us as a collective group.
Right. And even if we didn't include the tournament aspect of it, just to recreational fish. Take friends out, take our wives out. I mean, it's easy to put somebody in the other boat and let them read a book and get a tan all day.
Mm-hmm,
and you've used this in competitive fishing. You did not necessarily use, and people misunderstand what we think about using electric kayaks for fishing. We're not necessarily for it, but we see it as a tool. But you've used this kayak to not use that motor and fish competitively without hindrance. Without any hindrance. In fact, it gave you an advantage.
What?
The size, the space.
Oh, I mean, it's hard for me to describe the value that this boat brings to me. Because like I said, I don't think I've figured it all out yet. You know, like we've talked, I want to put a standing platform on it.
Right.
I want to make one. And just when you sit in that boat, you know, I can get up and stand on a cross beam on the very top of the walls of the boat. I can stand up there. And just being able to stand up there, man, my ability to see in the water about triples.
Right.
And so what I've been doing is taking that seat, leaving it flipped back, and strapping a cooler down.
Yeah, paddling all day without any complaints.
You know, every time before I pack that cooler, you know, being kayakers, you know, it's always sometimes less is more, right? None of us want to add another ounce to the weight that we're already paddling around all day. Well, the boat's already a big boat, but thankfully, through all of this experience, I've figured out that it paddles great. And the first time I took that cooler out, I think was when me and you went to Lake Austin, and surprisingly, it was very, very comfortable. It didn't hinder my paddling or the speed of the boat any. And I had a gallon of frozen block of water in there, you know, drinks, all kinds of fruit, you know, sliced fruit.
You
and
had
everything.
the meal boat.
You know, that cooler was probably packed with 20 pounds of food and drink.
Right.
You know, and I sat on it all day. I'm still doing it. I did it yesterday.
Yeah, you're liking it like that. Man.
You know, and even you know, some people would question, you know, whether it would hinder the stability of it or not, but it doesn't. Like I said, when I first saw the boat, I liked I liked what it allowed for me to continue to do with it. It really allowed for me to build up my area of operation in the manner that I needed it to be built. The mounting plates on the front, super nice. I mean, this boat is so versatile. I think with every company out there that's making any type of accessory for a kayak or for kayak fishing, I mean, this boat offers it. And there are so many people out there, you know, doing these little DIY projects that we're starting to see, like, exactly, you know, just how far we can take this boat and just how much it can be pushed to the limit. You know, I think there's some really, really cool things that can be done with just by simply modifying what's already there.
It's coming. Possibilities are endless.
Yeah. I can't wait to stand up on something and be another foot in the air. You know, it's awesome.
Okay, so I mean, I'm taking it that, you know, again, I think he likes the kayak.
I do. I couldn't be happier with it. Like I said, when I saw it, you know, I really bought into it. After I got to spend some time with it, I fell in love with it. Especially the fact that I could still pick it up over my head and put it up on my roof.
That's true, you do that.
You know, it's that I really like that, because if I don't have to tow a trailer, I don't want to tow a trailer.
Right.
You know, and fortunately,
it will do it.
Yeah. You know, my Thule bars up on top fit it perfectly.